Hello. Today we're going to be working with expressions that are available when you are in BPM, specifically with human tasks. Some of these have to do with the types of expressions that are used to get various user groups to assign uh, activities, human task activities. And I have a number of different expressions showing here. And basically, I got them by taking an expression and coming up into XPath. And one of the things that I did do was some of them were predefined, just grabbing them from here just to see how they would work, what kind of data they would show. And other ones that I used were the more advanced functions, for example, get last performer, get performer, and then over here in IDS down here, the get manager, get reportees I didn't actually do with, but it could be done. And here you can see that I have the get manager, and then I have a slightly different use of it. I am getting the user property of the manager. And the manager was actually something that I put together by getting the workflow demo community seed and using that. However, I changed all the users to whatever I felt like putting them in there as. And this is basically because the ones that come with the demo community seed, I don't know the names and I don't know the hierarchy, but this one is just 4 or 5 users, so I can keep track of that very simply. So, but this one, the get performer, is problematic, and it's I don't really have an answer on actually how to use it, but I will show how it's used. It's rather interesting because it is used by the application when you choose the get lane participant. So, and actually when you run this, it'll blow up. So I want to show you that particular error as it creates it. So we will deploy this. And as it's deploying, I'll explain what we have here. The none event is starting it, and then I have an initiator human task. And this human task is an initiator because I wanted to show the get creator that is available. One of the scripts, I should say expressions that I used is get creator, which is this one right here. So, and that's a BPM in. You can see that's got the prefix there, and it gives a little information about it. So, and if you do not have the initiator, it doesn't show that. However, of course, when you are looking at the implementation here, and you are looking at the, let's see, where was it? This is the input. Oh, here it is, the exec data. That's what I was looking at. So actually, on the output side of it, you can do the exec data. Well, let's get that out. Take a look at this one. So you have a lot of different data that's going on with this. All of these different fields that are available, so that you can use those pieces of information, user comment. You can grab it all. Cross information, almost too much of it, and probably most of it you wouldn't need except for certain pieces of information like the payload. But you might have the information about the various pieces of parts of the human task. So there's a lot there. Okay, let's see what this, oh, that looks good, doesn't that? Let's see what's going on. It's been a while since I opened it up, and I think I have to, usually when you deploy it the first time, after opening up the application server, you have to do it the old-fashioned way. And then later, I will be able to just do the deploy. Okay, and that did work. Okay, so let's go out and take a look at this application. I have Doug logging in, and I have the user Betty logging in. And actually, let's log out. That was wrong. Okay, there we go. And she is the manager. She is not going to see the application. Doug is going to see it when he logs in here. Okay, and this is the BPL process. One of the things about BPL is that naming conventions are names are very hard to change. So if we take a look at this, uh, when I originally created this, I created it with the name. It's not painting. Let's try it again. There it goes. It just gave it a generic process management name, but renaming things in BPL is problematic. So just consider that as you name things. Okay, so here we have the date time, and I'm not going to fill out any of these values. Most of them are going to be populated by the script task, and actually the script task is going to fail because the get performer is going to fail, and I was just going to show you that. Okay, I've opened up Enterprise Manager here, and it's still painting it, but you can take a look at this one here, and we'll see that it is suspended here, and we'll just take a quick look at that. And this is the interesting part about it. Just you can see that most of these things are done, and you can see that the IDS get manager was for Betty. Um, oops, the get creator was Doug, and I think I bundled two together, so they're kind of showing up here. Instance 1901, which we saw when we were in Enterprise Manager, and then the get user property Stewart. That returned an entire string, which is rather interesting because it is, of course, just one value. This is the date time. Then we got a fault message, and you can see that the expression get performer, it failed to execute. The reason was this, a type error. Now, it could be that I should have put it to a different type, and I tried various types, hasn't worked. But that's just the way things work. Sometimes you learn by your mistakes. So what we're going to do is just take that out. Okay. And now what we're going to do is look at the actual human task, which is here. Let me get it here first, okay? So we have the assignment, and this is the Doug's Get Manager, and you can see that this one, and this does work. And then we have the previous lane participant, which is in the details here. You can see that it's get the last performer, which is probably going to be the Get Manager of Doug. Now another thing that we might want to try here, just for giggles, is to add a new stage and try to get that ourselves. And we're going to do add user. Excuse me, I shouldn't have done this. I need to change it by expression. And let's just see how this works. BPM functions get last performer. Okay, and in fact I'd like to get that one and try that in the script task as well and see if that blows up like it did for the first one. So I think we can put this here. and just draw a line to it. Okay, that looks okay. Okay, the deployment finished. Let's quickly just open up the form, do a submit, run over to Enterprise Manager, and refresh it. We had 1901. We're going to be getting 1902 next. And again, a suspension here. This time off of get last performer. So it is failing, and you would think that you'd be able to do it. But let's take a quick look at actually how it's done in the. Whoops, I shouldn't go there. I'm sorry. Let's take a look at how it's done in the actual source here. We have the get last performer, but we did this one, and did we do that one? We did stage 3, right? Previous lane participant. Yeah, actually, my apologies. I'm getting mixed up here. I've done this video a number of times trying to fix it, get it perfect. All right, so the lane participant. If we do the current lane participant, that's what I wanted. Okay, so let's just rename this. So we have the previous and that way we won't confuse ourselves. Okay, now we can save it and just take a quick look at the source. So here what you have here is that you have the get manager, but when we did the previous lane participant, we actually got this, the last performer, and here is the get performer. And the application, the identity type is an application role, where I had chosen a user. But even still, if we were to go in here and create yet another stage, and this time we're going to come down here, and we'll do this Stewart's test, and names and expressions, and plus add, and this time an application user, and see, there is no way to choose XPath. Now it might automatically be defaulted, but if I do get performer here, even still, Stewart test, let's go in, save it, and take a look at the source. Here you got it. It's different. The type, well, this might actually work. It looks like it's the same. So this is how you use it, and I haven't had much luck using it otherwise in the script task, for example. Now we're going to take this out simply for the sake that this and the one right above it are exactly the same. And so what we'll have here is, what I expect it to do is go to Doug's manager and then get the last performer, which would be Doug's manager, and then the get performer, which would be Doug. Okay, so let's see how that works. Okay, it's been deployed. We submit, and now that I think about it, we have another change to do. I don't think that we removed the get performer or last performer from here, so we do need to get rid of that. Let's see if we can find it in here. Get last performer. Okay. And let's redeploy. Okay, I just submitted it again, and this time we'll come over and refresh. We should have it at maybe, let's see what we get. I think it's 19,000. 3 or 4. Yeah, 4. We'll only do 4. Okay, that looks good. Nice to see. So it went to the initiator and it completed that, and now it's waiting for the manager. We're going to refresh the manager screen here. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You can see here that the creator is Doug, so there is the, it does draw on its own metadata here, and you can see all of the fields that we had populated. And you can see that here you have the instance of process management, all these fields, Doug. I had put in languages here just to see what it would do in the LDAP when I did the community seed demo and I added it. I put some languages in, but it doesn't seem to have populated the script here. Hold on, where are we? There we are. So I'm going to approve this. Now, it's going to disappear. And it came right back because, as I expected, I got the blast performer, and I'm now approving it again, and it's going to disappear. And if I had the proper email notices show up, it would show up in these people's inbox, and here it is with Doug again, and he's going to reject it, just for giggles. Okay, so that is how we did it. Fairly long video, but shows some of the information that's available as expressions and in the metadata, and how you can grab it and use it in the application for various needs. I hope that was helpful. Have a good day.